Hi guys, Rumblysuperset here, back again, doing another gameplay analysis, this time of Weapon Power Vox. The reason why I want to do this one is because of the comp we're running. I think we've discovered a very strong meta for this 1.12 update. Vox Weapon Power with Adagio with a Broken Myth to pump up Vox's Weapon Power basic attack damage, along with crit. You'll see here that there is a few moments where the game does skip. I apologize, I don't know what happened with my recording. So it does skip like 3 or 4 times, but then it eventually smoothens out for the rest of the game. So you can see here there was one, and it's going to happen within the first engagement, which is unfortunate. It was a good engagement. It's just going to go ahead and skip. I don't know how to fix it, it just is. But anyways, so we're going to get the first engagement. I'm going to get some items here. They didn't get a shop, so that's good. We're taking their fronts. We are definitely in a really good position because Kashka, although very strong in the beginning, if we get the shot before her, it's really good. And as you can see here, after the skip, we actually end up winning. We even get the big city, I believe, because our saw comes down. There's another skip. So yeah, I took out Catherine, and then I believe Adagio took out the Castro. Yes. So now we're gonna go ahead and just push for a little bit, get the farm. We want to be a little bit of ahead in terms of farms, so we're going to go ahead and take theirs rather than just go back to our own. And again, as you'll see in this match, this is a very strong meta, I feel, because one, the damage on Adagio's B that he gives to either himself or somebody else, the ratio is CP, but the damage that is given is the basic attack damage, i.e. weapon power damage. So it's kind of weird. I believe that's how it's worded. So basically it increases the basic attack damage of whoever he targets. I.e. things that improve the damage on basic attacks, like crit, it's applied as well to that additional damage. So what you do is you get the overdrive on the A, which increases the damage on his weapon power as well for Vox. But then you also get crit, which takes all that damage that's amplified through Adagio and through the overdrive A, and crit all that damage as well. So like, it's really strong late game. Early game is even strong. There's no area which it's really weak. The only thing you have to watch out for are Takas. Takas are definitely a very strong counter to this. You can manage it so long as you get the players, so long as you can go ahead and make sure you know where he is at all times, especially when he's engaging you. If you can know where he is at all times, then you should be able to handle him, but he is the strongest counter to this comp. So just keep that in mind. From my experience, at least, that's what we've grown to know, is that Takas give us a hard time. But anything else, we haven't had any issues with it. Glaives, Kashkas, nothing. Our damage output is far greater than any of them. The only reason why Taka can survive is because he can go in and stealth and come back in when his cooldowns are up. And therefore it's hard for me to go ahead and put the focus on him when he's constantly being able to disengage like that. But you can see here the damage is shreds with that buff. There is an issue here where I need to get a potion and save an Oracle here who's playing Adagio. We managed to do it. Castro had to back out. Saw is pushing lane. Another thing about this is, if you have a player who can play Saw really well, what happens is that not only can you buff your jungler, i.e. Vox, for the extra damage for early game aggression in jungle, but when you're in lane, Adagio can go ahead and buff Saw to take down their turrets really fast. Now, I don't necessarily say that this is the comp that it's supposed to be, and you can't change it. You can deviate from Saw. It's just Saw has a really good synergy with Adagio as well, and it kind of works well together. So not only do you have pressure in lane from Saw, but also an immense amount of pressure in jungle. Another thing about this comp is you have to have a reliable laner. If your laner falls behind, then it starts to get a little difficult because you have to go and invade in the lane more than you would like to, rather than invade in jungle, keeping the enemy jungle down and keeping yourself in tip-top form. Especially when you don't have to go to lane and help out your laner. Another one I would say that'd be really good with this comp would be probably a Celeste. Anybody with a stun in lane would be really good because it allowed them to peel for Vox. Vox should be doing a ton of damage in the game, and if you keep them alive, that's what you want to do. But yeah, so again, we're just taking farm. One good thing about this comp too is the fact that even if you are weapon power, Vox was nerfed a bit for weapon power. The buff allows you to just tear right through jungle like nothing. As you saw, we actually got to the shop in the beginning of the match before a Koshka as a weapon power Vox, which is really good. Again, we take out Koshka. We're gonna go ahead and take out Big City here with the boots, and then use my my basic attack. We don't get Kestrel. Kestrel does miss her snipes, so that's good. But we do have to be careful. Kestrel is really strong for the poke, so we have to be sure not to get hit by it too much, because then it's going to put us at a disadvantage, and then potentially she can take us out. But yeah, so now again, we're just grabbing the farm we can. We don't want to go to their backs necessarily because they are respawn probably, and we don't want to take the risk. I'm low on energy. I want to get my items and go back to our farm. So we've been taking theirs. That means our farm's been collecting a little bit more than normal, and we can go in and get that as well. And this goes. What I build is essentially Sorrow Blade. Then I build some defense, not necessarily finishing out the items, but just some defense, depending on who I'm playing against. So Koshka, I get like shields, as you can see, and then I go ahead and go Tyrant's Monocle. The final item, meaning everything else is completed, my boots, or not necessarily boots, I would say tier 2 boots at highest, defense, Sorrow Blade, Monocle, then you get Breaking Point. The reason why is because at that point you should have pretty high sustainability with your defense and Adagio, and allow you to rack up those stacks of Breaking Point, and it just really synergizes well with this particular comp because it increases your crit and your damage, or your crit chance, I should say. But yeah, so it's really strong. As you can tell, we're just shredding it in all aspects of this match. These players are fairly high elo, I believe, too. I think some of them I even like recognize, but it's just this comp was just probably fairly unexpected. Koshka is generally pretty strong early game and can wreck still, even after the nerf to her in Fortress. I mean, Koshka alone is still pretty deadly. And now we just take out Koshka like nothing. We're going to take out Big City. I don't think we'd get Castro because Castro's always kind of playing defensively and not really engaging completely, so therefore she survives quite a bit. We're taking farm once again. Principal concept of invading as you take farm as much as you can, keeping your enemies down. We're going to go ahead and give the heal to Ben because I don't need it, obviously. Ben needs it more than I do. Another thing too about this comp is when you buff Saw, the damage output to take out objectives, not just turrets, but like Goldmine and Kraken, is phenomenal. This particular match, excuse me, this particular match we did go Weapon Power Saw, which is really good. The only downside is you have to be careful of the fact that they can counter you guys fairly easy, but if Saw gets a Bone Saw, it's not necessarily as bad as to say you're going to go Weapon Power with potentially somebody else as lane and Weapon Power Box. But generally, you want to go a CP laner with a Weapon Power Box. But again, like this particular comp, it's not too bad. Again, we're going to go ahead and just focus this guy right here. It does hurt quite a bit, but Vox has the convenience of being able to reposition himself to kind of avoid some of the shots from Kestrel. And like most people know, if you can get on Kestrel, the majority of the time until late game, they can't really go stealth until either they get away or they have a lot of weapon power. It can go instantaneous stealth. So it is an advantage of keeping the enemy team low on gold, is that it prevents the Kestrel from getting built up enough to where she can have instantaneous stealth. Now I'm probably going to go ahead and ult right after this ult. There it is. A little bit late, but hey, we manage. Adagio landing an incredible ult, making us basically take the lead in the victory here. Again, he's buffing Saw with the damage, and as you can see, Saw will just shred right through the turrets, and this is the victory right here. Definitely a very strong comp. Go ahead and try it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below or on my Twitter. Check out my Twitter if you guys haven't already. I have like 2,300 Twitter followers, and I'm fairly active on it. So if you guys want to go ahead and just follow me there and let me know what you think of the comp, definitely do so. It's super strong, as you guys can see. 13-0 and 6, 4-0-15 and 3-4-7 for Ben. Again, how it works is Adagio goes basically some defense in the beginning, and then he goes straight into like a heavy prism. Then he finishes off his renewal. Then he finishes off a broken myth, which he didn't do because he ended up just going straight defense anyways. But yeah, you generally want to build a broken myth on Adagio. And then weapon power box. Weapon power box, that's a damage increase from his A. And not just that, but then the crit applied with the damage boost from Adagio is really strong. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.